Two warriors going at it right there, man. It's a legendary battle. 2003, 2004 season. Thank you, Lord. Bless us all, man. Let's be some of my cousins on the read, man. Shout out to my bro. Bless us, man. Thankful for them seeing another day.
Good morning, everyone. I'm not sure if you guys have had a moment to look at what's taking place in the news right now, but as we are speaking, or as I'm recording this, we have two huge U.S. carriers that's approaching the Straits. We have 150 different planes. We have China and Iran, along with Russia, all doing these military drills at the same time that these nuclear talks are supposed to take place. And President Trump has threatened to use force if these talks fail. Well, one of the things that a lot of people aren't aware of is the fact that a great deal of Chinese oil, or China's oil, comes from Iran. China was getting a great deal of oil from Venezuela, but the U.S. just cut off that trade from Venezuela with the capture of the president of Venezuela. Now, if you look back in history, this took place before. In 1945, we had Japan making its aggressions around with regard to China and to other countries. So what did the U.S. do? It cut off the oil supply for Japan, which led to Japan ultimately bombing Pearl Harbor, and thus the U.S. was thrust into World War II. Well, World War III seems like it's going to be pushed by something different, but the same methods look like they're being employed. So what I'm asking right now for everyone out there, I want you to take the time to look at what's taking place inside the world. I want you to take a moment to collect yourselves and think of the outcome that we all want for this world. If we want to be thrust into war, then it's at the front door. If we want to find a peaceful resolution to some of this, then we're going to have to change our tactics. And I don't mean I as an American, I'm talking about I as an earthling. I'm talking about we as a people. This world is going crazy right now. So let us take a moment to look at what's taking place and see what we need to do to make things better for not just us, but for the world as a whole, because that's what it means being conscious. And perhaps everyone can come together and think in a positive way, can pray in a positive way, but even more so, act in a positive way, because this is getting ugly, y'all. So put your best face on, put your most positive attitude on, and let's see if we can consciously make a difference. Have a wonderful day.
Snatched The Cosby Show, April of 92. July of 93, they snatched The Different World. Now, these are the two most positive black sitcoms on television at that time. And you could argue the two most positive black miniseries in American history, at least recent history. You have a strong black family with a mother and father. One is a doctor, one is a lawyer. The children are all positive, progressive, academically excelling. Nobody's thugged out. And then you got A Different World, life on an HBCU campus, young black students loving college, planning for their future. The Cosby Show and A Different World really had us in a positive light, Art. And in order for them to justify that upcoming crime bill, it had to go. So July of 93, A Different World gets pulled off of television. And let me also say, for the benefit of the audience, college enrollment for black youth went up almost 30% as a result of The Different World. While that show was on, college enrollment for black youth went up nearly 30%. So they knew that there was a positive impact that both The Cosby Show and The Different World was having on black America. But it didn't fit the agenda for the Bill Clinton crime bill, and therefore the mass incarceration of black men and black women. Remember, we're dealing with crack hit the 80s. Crack is still a big thing in the 90s. AIDS hit. And now Bill Clinton has come to save the day with this omnibus crime bill, which he had to deliver on because he promised the American people he's going to get tough on crime. And crime is always black in white America. So Different World gets pulled in July. Bill Clinton's crime bill gets introduced October 26, 1993. So only a few months after they pull A Different World. So The Cosby Show is gone. Different World is gone. Dr. Dre's Chronic is all black America is listening to, not even realizing that the Bill Clinton crime bill is about to get introduced October 26, 1993. And all they hear is The Chronic whenever they turn on black radio. Now, the crime bill gets introduced in October 93. Doggy Style drops November of 93. Doggy Style, #1 on the Billboard, certified quadruple platinum, and it's the fastest selling rap album to date. At that time, Snoop Dogg's album was the fastest selling hip hop album of all time at that time to date. So now you not only got The Chronic, you also got Doggy Style, and you don't have The Cosby Show or The Different World to counteract the negativity. In less than a year after Snoop Dogg drops Doggy Style, the Bill Clinton crime bill passes Congress. He signs it less than a year after the Doggy Style album in September of 94. Now, Art, this Bill Clinton crime bill not only gave us mandatory minimum sentencing for nonviolent drug crimes, something we never saw before in American history. You never had mandatory minimum sentencing for drug crimes. In fact, you never really had it for a nonviolent crime at all. 3 strikes and you out. You could go to jail for the rest of your life if you get 3 felonies. That was unprecedented. Not only that, $10 billion for new prisons.
Don't teach your children that you have to be twice as good as a white. That's an awful thing to teach your child. Mm-hmm. That's like saying because you're black, white America has a right to change your dollar for 94 cents. But we used to get 50 cents, and before that we used to get nothing. Young folks have to say, we don't want more change for $1. Excuse me, we want a full dollar's change for $1, or this cash register will never ring again.
Yes.
I would also like for young blacks to understand that about 83% of all employment happen with small businesses. And if you don't have a small business, then you have nobody to work for you. And I would say to young blacks, get into entrepreneurship. We will never catch up with white America until we get into business, because there's a thing called tax write-offs. And if you have a job and come together, 10 of you, and open up a corporation and have somebody run it, you hire somebody to run it, but you have tax write-offs. 98% of people that fly first class on airplanes would not be there if that wasn't a write-off. And yet, on that first class, they gave away last year $800 million, almost $1 billion of free whiskey. But if a welfare mother asked for some apple juice for the baby, she's laughed at. And so I would say entrepreneurship.
Why has the U.S. Congress never passed a minimum age for child marriage?
Never passed it.
Why is there no law alone in this country that says marriage can only be between a man and a consenting female who is at least 18 years old?
Right.
Do you know we don't have a minimum
I didn't know
marriage
that.
law in this country?
No, sir.
Do you know that in 33 states you can marry children? California has no minimum age. All you need is parental consent and judicial consent. I'm going to say it again. In the state of California, you can marry a child of any age. There is no minimum.
That's heavy.
But y'all say y'all don't like pedophiles.
Right. Yeah.
Elvis Presley got a new movie coming out. Wasn't Priscilla living in his house and she was
Yes.
what, 13?
13.
14?
Yes.
So I need white people to explain to me. You upset over Epstein. But Elvis got a new movie coming out. You about to celebrate Thomas Jefferson and George Washington, two known plantation pedophiles, on July 4th. Your country don't have a minimum marriage age for the girls. 33 states allow child marriage. If you're against this loan, why don't I see proof of it?
Oh my goodness. That's heavy, man.
Do you still belong
That's
to the Roman
heavy.
Catholic Church? Hundreds of thousands of documented sex abuse cases against children. You still Catholic, but you got a problem with Epstein. You had a problem with
heavy.
Sean Combs, but you gonna turn a blind eye to this?
After I sued Fox and Disney, you go into the blacklist.
Permanent.
You until there's a new change of everybody inside of there. So you're no longer on their main list of calling because you've broken the cardinal rule, which is you never talk. You know, even if you're being screwed over, you never talk. You know, you're supposed to keep that quiet and keep working as a good slave. And I didn't do that. I fought about, you know, some injustices that I felt was happening with me. And you realize that the entire system is rigged because they carry so much power. And if you, and everybody, either you work for Disney or you want to work for Disney.